Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara presides at an unprecedented news conference to refute charges that the administration is holding back on the strength of Russian men and arms in Cuba. The charges were made by members of Congress, and Mr. McNamara is emphatic in denying that there has been an appreciable buildup. He turns the briefing over to John Hughes, a Pentagon intelligence aide, who reveals for the first time that Russia had nuclear weapons in Cuba until the October retreat to Moscow. He went on to add that Soviet military personnel in Cuba reached a peak of 22,000 by November 1st, but this has been reduced to about 17,000. Then came a presentation of before and after pictures of a Cuban missile site. This was the San Cristobal site in October. This picture, made last month, shows the same area completely dismantled. Senator Kenneth Keating of New York, who has charged repeatedly that the administration has underestimated Soviet strength in Cuba, is not satisfied with the exposition.
I stand on my statement that there's 10 times as much military equipment there now, and in addition to this, the Soviet troops are digging in. These combat troops are building semi-permanent or permanent barracks, and this is a part of my statement that they're at least 10 times stronger. It's patently absurd, it seems to me, to believe the Russians and other communists are in Cuba because they're on the defensive, that they've established a firm military base and are digging into it to defend the Cuban people, and that they don't intend and are not now using this base to get operators, equipment, and propaganda into Latin America.
The next day, at the President's news conference, little attention is paid to any matter but the Cuban question. The President, of course, points to the McNamara press conference as a thorough excursion into what the Russians have and have not done in Castro's island fortress. He pledges the nation to a firm stand.
We cannot base the issue of war and peace on a rumor or report, which is not substantiated, or which some member of Congress refuses to tell us where he heard it. This issue involves very definitely war and peace, and when you talk about the presence of offensive weapons there, if they are there, I think the Soviet Union is aware, and Cuba is aware, that we would be back where we were in October, but in a far more concentrated way. And after our experience last fall, we operate on the assumption, while hoping for the best, we expect the worst. It's very possible that the worst will come, and we should prepare for it. That's why we continue our daily surveillance. It's possible, conceivable. We cannot prove that there is not a missile in a cave, or the Soviet Union isn't going to ship next week. We prepare for that. But we will find them when they do, and when they do, the Soviet Union and Cuba and the United States must all be aware that this will produce the greatest crisis which the world has faced in its history.